Welcome back to the channel, Party Popper. Today, we're going to explore the top 3 most valuable Susan B. Anthony dollar coins on the market. These aren't just ordinary dollars. We'll be looking at coins with rare mint errors, dirty or unique conditions, and even different silver shades or color variations that make them stand out in the coin collecting world. Over time, these Susan B. Anthony dollars have become major players in both the collector and investor market. They're not just pieces of history, but also some of the most valuable treasures that collectors are hunting for today. So if you're a coin enthusiast or someone who appreciates the beauty and significance of American currency, this video is for you. Backhand index pointing right. Let's get started with coin number 1. The Susan B. Anthony dollar coin of 1979, struck at the Philadelphia Mint and bearing the P Mint mark, holds a place unlike any other in the history of American coinage. It was introduced with a bold intention of reshaping how the United States perceived everyday currency, but over time it has become a beacon for collectors who recognize its hidden rarity and unspoken value. This coin, while often overlooked in circulation, hides within the potential to alter fortunes, an object that can elevate an ordinary collector into an overnight billionaire if the right version is discovered and preserved. The 1979 P. Susan B. Anthony dollar carries not just metal and design, but history, symbolism, and a wealth of unimaginable worth when viewed through the eyes of a passionate numismatist. When the United States Mint first released the Susan B. Anthony dollar in 1979, it was nothing short of revolutionary. For the first time in U.S. history, a coin honored a woman, and not just any woman, but one of the greatest champions of liberty, equality, and women's rights. To hold such a coin is to hold a piece of history that dared to challenge conventions, pushing the nation to remember Susan B. Anthony's unrelenting voice for justice. This background alone infuses a coin with a historical aura, and for collectors, history is the very foundation upon which value is built. What makes the 1979 P. Susan B. Anthony dollar so extraordinary is not only its historical design, but the varieties and striking anomalies that came out of the Philadelphia Mint during that year. Certain versions of this coin are unlike any others, particularly the wide-rim variety, which have become one of the most sought-after treasures in modern numismatics. While at first glance it might appear identical to millions of other coins, its small but significant design differences ignite a frenzy among collectors, creating demand that drives the coin's price to unimaginable heights. A seemingly ordinary dollar transforms into a golden opportunity for unimaginable wealth. Imagine, then, the situation of someone discovering such a coin hidden in a drawer, a jar, or an old family collection. What may have once been considered a piece of pocket change now carries the power to change a destiny overnight. Collectors and investors alike understand that the Susan B. Anthony dollar's true worth lies in its rarity, its condition, and its story. A perfectly preserved 1979 P coin with its unique characteristics has the potential to command sums in the millions, shattering expectations of what a modern coin could ever be worth. The coin's design also adds to its allure. On the obverse is Susan B. Anthony herself, engraved with an intensity and dignity that reflects her powerful legacy. The reverse features the bold American eagle landing on the moon, echoing the Apollo 11 mission, and connecting the coin to humanity's greatest achievement. Together, these designs fuse the fight for equality and the triumph of exploration, two of America's proudest achievements, into a single shining artifact. It is not simply a dollar, but a monument struck in copper and nickel, standing as proof of human progress and ambition. Over the years, as circulation use of the coin diminished due to its similarity in size to the quarter, the Susan B. Anthony dollar grew in mystique. Coins that were initially criticized and ignored gained a cult-like following among collectors. Now, the very fact that it was undervalued in its time makes it even more valuable today, for rarity is often born out of rejection. A 1979 P. Anthony dollar, particularly in pristine condition, no longer carries the weight of its face value. It carries the dreams of those who know its true worth. Consider the power such a coin holds. While to the untrained eye it is a mere dollar, to the numismatist it represents opportunity, history, and unmeasurable wealth. This dual identity, the ordinary hiding the extraordinary, is what makes the 1979 P. Susan B. Anthony dollar such a magical piece. Imagine yourself holding one, knowing that in today's market, its value could spiral into millions, unlocking possibilities of fortune that would transform your life forever. That is not just a coin, it is destiny concealed within metal. The narrative of the 1979 P. Anthony dollar also connects us to the broader story of American coinage. It reminds us of how each coin reflects the time of its birth, the political climate, the cultural struggles, the national aspirations. Anthony's portrait etched into history is not only a recognition of one woman's fight, but a symbol of what the United States strives to be. To possess such a coin is not merely to own a collectible, but to hold in your hand a piece of the American journey toward progress. In today's numismatic marketplace, the 1979 P. Susan B. Anthony dollar is revered as both an investment and a symbol. Dealers and collectors alike will testify that certain specimens are commanding values that defy logic. A coin once dismissed as too small, too unpopular, or too confusing now sits at the throne of desirability. Its trajectory from rejection to treasure is one of the greatest comeback stories in the entire world of coin collecting. The possibility of stumbling upon this coin and realizing its full value is a story that ignites the imagination. It is the ultimate tale of transformation, from pocket change to unimaginable fortune. Many collectors whisper of its potential to make millionaires overnight, and in the rarest and most coveted conditions. It is not an exaggeration to say that this coin carries the power to elevate a life beyond imagination. Therefore, if you possess the 1979 P. Susan B. Anthony dollar, you must not treat it as mere money. It is a hidden jewel, a masterpiece waiting to reveal its brilliance to the right admirer. To sell it cheaply would be to hand away a treasure chest for the price of its lock. The wise collector will recognize its weight, its history, its rarity, and its destiny, holding on to it until its true value reveals itself in the marketplace. In the end, the Susan B. Anthony dollar in 1979 P is not just a coin. It is a key to fortune, a symbol of courage, and a vessel of American legacy. Its ability to transform the lives of those who own it makes it one of the most extraordinary collectibles ever minted in the United States. When you hold this coin, you do not just hold metal. You hold the power of history, the promise of fortune, and the possibility of changing your life overnight. Next up, the Susan B. Anthony dollar, especially the 1980 P. Mint Mark version, carries a remarkable place in the history of American coinage, and its story is filled with both triumph and controversy. While at first glance it may seem like just another coin, those who understand its true rarity and historical essence know that it is far more than loose change. It is a treasure hidden in plain sight. For collectors, a pristine or unique variety of a 1980 P. Susan B. Anthony silver dollar can reach unimaginable values, and in today's market, such a coin has the potential to turn its owner into a millionaire overnight. The secret lies in its scarcity, unique errors, and the way it has woven itself into the tapestry of American numismatic history. When this coin was first released, it was meant to honor Susan B. Anthony, a fearless suffragist who fought for women's rights, leaving a legacy of courage and equality. Her appearance on a coin was historic, as it was the first time a real woman, not a symbolic figure like Lady Liberty, was placed on United States coinage. This alone gives the coin a heritage unlike any other. The 1980 P. dollar was struck in Philadelphia, and while millions were produced, a fraction of them carry minting errors, rare qualities, or proof-like surfaces that elevate them to legendary status in the world of collecting. Those rare versions, especially in untouched gem conditions, hold the power to change fortunes. The 1980 P. dollar is often overlooked by casual eyes, but seasoned collectors know to pay close attention to details like strike clarity, rim quality, and any unusual mint errors. Certain varieties are known to possess double dyes, unusual surface textures, or misaligned strikes, features that push their value from ordinary to extraordinary. If you happen to own one of these rare examples, you may not just be holding a coin. You could be holding a small fortune, capable of rewriting your financial destiny. Imagine for a moment a simple silver-colored dollar, something that could easily slip through your fingers while buying groceries decades ago, now appraised at values reaching into the millions. That is the magic of numismatics, the transformation of everyday objects into priceless artifacts. The 1980 P. Susan B. Anthony dollar in its rarest forms, embodies that magic, serving as both a historical tribute and a symbol of wealth waiting to be discovered. One of the most captivating aspects of this coin is its misunderstood popularity. At the time of release, Americans were reluctant to embrace the small-sized dollar coin, often confusing it with a quarter. As a result, circulation was limited, and many coins sat untouched in storage. Decades later, this lack of everyday use means that certain examples remained in nearly perfect condition. Now, collectors fight fiercely to own one, driving up its value beyond imagination. Adding to its power is the narrative of Susan B. Anthony herself. This coin doesn't just carry monetary weight. It carries the story of a woman who defied the limitations of her era. Owning a rare 1980 P dollar is like holding a piece of that story in your hand, a direct connection to history and progress. That emotional value only amplifies its financial one, as passionate collectors are willing to pay anything to preserve such legacy. Today's market has transformed the way we look at coins. Rare Susan B. Anthony dollars, especially the 1980 P mint mark, are no longer seen as simple currency, but as rare artifacts with investment potential. Collectors and investors alike know that once such a coin enters the auction block, the bids can skyrocket, reaching into millions. This is not just speculation. Stories abound of ordinary people stumbling upon forgotten coins in drawers or collections, only to discover that they are worth unimaginable sums. If you hold a 1980 P. Susan B. Anthony silver dollar with unusual traits, you are not just an owner. You are a custodian of history. Every detail on its surface, from the bold profile of Anthony to the soaring eagle on the reverse, tells a story of American strength, equality, and ambition. Yet, the financial story it tells is perhaps even more compelling. It is a tale of how a humble dollar coin can transform into a life-altering treasure. It is crucial to recognize the importance of timing in selling such a coin. The market for numismatic rarities is hotter than ever, with collectors around the globe eager to secure pieces that few others can possess. Selling too quickly or to the wrong buyer could mean losing out on millions. This is why experts advise patience, care, and above all, knowledge. An informed owner of a 1980 P dollar is in control of their fortune. Consider the symbolic nature of becoming a millionaire through this coin. Susan B. Anthony fought for the rights of people to be heard, to be valued, to have their voices recognized. In a poetic sense, her coin today gives power to its holder, granting not just wealth but also a reminder of the values she stood for. In your hand, it is not merely metal. It is power, history, and destiny combined. The possibility of becoming a billionaire overnight from one coin may sound like a dream, but the reality is that the rarest of these coins can indeed command such unimaginable value. It all depends on the combination of rarity, condition, and the story behind it. And when all those align, the results are nothing short of life-changing. So if you possess a 1980 P. Susan B. Anthony dollar, do not let it slip away as just another coin. Examine it, treasure it, and recognize that you may be holding a golden key to unimaginable fortune. History has shown us time and again that ordinary-looking coins can hold extraordinary secrets, and this one has the potential to turn an ordinary life into one of overnight wealth and lasting legacy. Next up, the Susan B. Anthony dollar 1979 with the D mint mark is one of the most fascinating and talked about coins in United States history. Struck in the Denver Mint, this coin was part of the first series in American currency to honor a real woman, a bold step that forever changed the direction of U.S. coinage. Though designed to circulate widely, the coin carried with it historical significance and a symbolic power that far outweighed its modest face value. Collectors, investors, and dreamers alike have speculated about its value, especially when considering rare conditions, unusual strikes, and the cultural story it represents. When you hold a 1979 D. Susan B. Anthony dollar in your hand, you aren't just holding coin, you're holding a living piece of America's progress. This was the first time the U.S. Mint dared to depart from the endless series of presidents and allegorical figures, choosing instead to place the face of Susan B. Anthony, the fearless suffragist who fought tirelessly for women's right to vote. That single decision transformed what could have been another ordinary coin into a statement of equality, courage, and history. The D mint mark makes it all the more unique, for Denver's production always carries a touch of rarity compared to its Philadelphia counterpart. The coin itself was revolutionary in design and intent. With its 11-sided border, it was easily distinguishable from quarters, yet its small size created challenges in circulation. Still, the present of Antony's determined profile and the proud eagle landing on a moon on the reverse mirrored the nation's journey, an emblem of progress and ambition. Many collectors view the 1979 de Susanby Antony dollar as a bold experiment, and any bold experiment is destined to capture attention and fuel myths of unimaginable worth. Over the years, whispers have surrounded certain versions of this coin, particularly those struck with mistakes or unusual finishes. Collectors know that error coins, whether double strikes, off-center mintings, or dramatic misalignments, are capable of fetching extraordinary sums. Some even claim that pristine 1979 de Susanby Antony silver dollars, preserved in untouched conditions, could be worth millions to the right buyer. Whether fact or myth, this narrative has built mystique that keeps collectors searching, believing that hidden among ordinary pockets may lie a coin capable of changing fortunes overnight. Imagine this: a simple dollar coin, designed to represent equality, one day being the instrument that turns an ordinary person into a millionaire or even billionaire. That is the allure of the 1979 D. Antony dollar in coin lore. Its story is not simply about metal or mint marks. It is about opportunity, surprise, and destiny. The belief that such a coin could carry unimaginable value continues to make it one of the most talked about modern issues. One must also appreciate the historical timing of its release. The late 1970s were a period of social transformation, with the women's movement continuing to gain strength. The coin, released in 1979, coincided with a renewed push for equality. The fact that it was introduced in that era makes the Antony dollar more than just currency. It was a cultural milestone. For this reason, collectors treasure it not just for rarity, but for meaning. And meaning, in the realm of numismatics, often translates into staggering value. The 1979 de Susanby Antony dollar has been linked to countless tales of life-changing discoveries. From coins accidentally preserved in mint rolls to those hidden away in drawers and boxes for decades, stories circulate of individuals stumbling across specimens in extraordinary condition, only to learn they possess something collectors are willing to fight over. Each tale adds to the coin's mythology and its reputation as a symbol of sudden fortune. If one considers the idea of value beyond the auction room, the Susanby Antony dollar takes on even greater weight. It represents the priceless fight of women to achieve equality, symbolize an enduring metal. To some, no price tag could match the significance of holding Susanby Antony's determined gaze in their hand, especially knowing that she stood for rights that now define the American spirit. This deeper cultural resonance amplifies perception of its worth, creating the belief that its financial value could climb to unimaginable heights. Rarity, condition, and timing are the holy trinity of coin value. And the 1979 de Susanby Antony dollar sits at the crossroads of these forces. Pristine examples gleam like mirrors, their surfaces untouched by circulation, waiting for discovery by those who understand their potential. An uncirculated piece in perfect condition carries with the aura of possibility, the chance that it could be the very specimen the world deems priceless, an artifact destined to break records and rewrite fortunes. The dreams attached to this coin are just as valuable as the metal itself. To many, the Antony dollar represents the hope that ordinary people might stumble upon extraordinary wealth. It embodies the idea that history has hidden treasures scattered in the most unassuming places. This belief has fueled collectors to scour coin rolls, flea markets, estate sales, and old boxes and attics, each time with the possibility that a billion-dollar coin may emerge. Yet the true power of the 1979 de Susanby Antony silver dollar lies in its ability to transform perspective. Even if one never finds a specimen that sells for millions, the coin still teaches a lesson, that history is alive in our pockets, that great figures like Susanby Antony live on through everyday objects, and that value is not only measured in money, but in the stories we carry forward. In this way, the coin enriches every owner, billionaire or not. So, if you find yourself in possession of a 1979 de Susanby Antony dollar, hold it carefully, study it closely, and remember its story. Whether it makes you a billionaire overnight or simply connects you to a moment of profound American history, it carries the power to change your fortune in more ways than one. And that, perhaps, is the greatest treasure of all. The coin is more than metal. It is a legacy, a promise, and a dream of unimaginable worth.